Have you ever walked into a shower expecting a lovely blast of water, only to be met by a sad dribble? Yes. Hey guys, welcome to AsherGad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Trust you're all doing well, wherever you are on the four corners of this planet, making gradual plans to make your dreams become a reality on the lovely continent that is Africa. Love for the love to all our subscribers, YouTube family, PayPal and Patreon families respectively. Love your emails, your topic discussions and topic suggestions as well, which is great. Yeah, before I get into today's video, I just want to touch on what we've been doing recently. For those who are subscribed, you would have seen a few sort of short videos we've been generating recently. And just to let you know, it is a complimentary. They're complimentary to our main videos. They're not here to replace our main videos. They are complimentary, but they are still very, very worth watching. Okay, they are still very, very, very much worth watching, and contain vital information that will help you building your home in Ghana, or even if you're buying your dream home in Ghana. And we advise you to please watch them. Okay, all right. Done for many reasons. Quite busy with our other work, as you know, and sometimes it takes a long time to edit the videos. This video I'm doing today, even though you may see it's only maybe a short 10 or 15-minute video, it can take up to 5 hours to edit and to compile with all the B-roll and everything. It's a real can drag out a bit, so we need to mix things up a bit so we can satisfy the other aspects of our offering also. All right, so today's video is gonna cover what is a very, very, very common issue all over the world, really, especially here in Ghana. Now, have you ever walked into a shower expecting a lovely blast of water, only to be met by a sad dribble? Yes, it's all too common. Water pressure issues is one of the most common and annoying problems when it comes to plumbing within the home, okay? Especially here in Ghana, okay? So today, I want to cover how to avoid that issue and the steps to overcome this common plumbing issue. So stay tuned and let's get straight into it. So why does water pressure matter anyway? Of course it matters. It matters not just for comfort, for you to have a nice shower, okay, but it also matters even for your appliances. You're using a washing machine or you're using a dishwasher, and if you have water pressure issues, the cycle never completes. You realize that after a while it comes up with an error, an E10 error or whatever error it may be, because there's not enough water pressure. Okay, so that can be really annoying. It can take far longer to finish washing your clothes or your dishes as you'd prefer it to do. You don't have enough water pressure. Sometimes the toilet doesn't flush properly, okay, or it flushes only halfway through because there's not enough water pressure or not enough water in there at all. Okay, can be really frustrating. Because for me, I don't know for you guys, but comment below if you think otherwise. I find water quite therapeutic. I find water quite therapeutic, and sometimes having a shower, having a jacuzzi is relaxing, it's therapeutic. So having the right pressure is key. The question is, what is the right pressure? Okay, if you're building in Ghana, get your plumber to measure the right pressure so you know exactly what pressure it should be. Now, to give you a hint, I would say if you have a pressure between 1.5 to 3 bar, that is the ideal. Pressure between 1.5 to 3 bar is ideal. Okay, and how do you measure that? The plumber can measure it if their equipment, but if they don't have the equipment and you have wherever your pumps are, if you have your main pump, it tends to have a dial on it, so you can actually read the bar from the dial on the pump. And if it's between 1.5 and 3 bar, then you should be good to go. Okay, if it is less than 1 bar, then far too low, especially if it's less than 1 bar at the pump. Pump is on the ground, or the pump is on the roof. If it's less than 1 bar on the pump, then you're in deep trouble, because by the time it travels through the pipes and the bends, the pressure will reduce even more. Okay. Also, if it is higher than 5 bar, then it is too high. Okay. If it is higher than 5 bar, it is too high and can damage your fixtures and fittings. So what you want is pressure between 1.5 and 3 bar. Hopefully that is useful for you. Whether you're building a new home or renovating an old one, planning for the right water pressure can save you money and future headaches, as you guys all know. Okay, and you know there are lots of causes of low water pressure, and the common ones are, I would say, looking at my notes, not having a designer to design your plumbing infrastructure on day one. Because not having a designer to design your plumbing infrastructure on day one typically results in, number one, poor pipe sizing. So where you may need a 3/4 of an inch pipe, the plumber puts in 1/2 inch pipe. If the pipe is too slow, it restricts the flow of water, right? And therefore you get lower pressure. Okay, frictional losses can drop pressure drastically. Okay, what do I mean by frictional losses? If you have too many bends, you know, you're gonna have frictional losses, and that can drop the pressure. Now, sometimes having a bend is inevitable, but the point is you need to make sure the bend, or the plumber needs to make sure the bend is not a right angle bend, or minimize right angle bends, and have smooth bends. Have a nice smooth bend so that the water doesn't suffer frictional losses. You know, try to avoid long pipe runs with many bends, because this produces more and more pressure drop. Okay, sometimes obviously multiple fittings are being used at once. Multiple showers are being used at once, okay? And there's a technique, again, in order to sort of ensure that you're getting adequate pressure at each of those showers, depending on the tank location, depending on the pump location, and the pipe runs and the valves that are fitted, okay? An experienced plumber should be able to locate things optimally, so that you get the right pressure, which is why you need a designer to start with in terms of the layout and the adequate locations before the plumber comes along. Because the plumber, especially in Ghana, obviously they're artisans. You can get a lot of experienced ones. Hard to get ones that are educated, very, very rare. So the designer is even more important here in Ghana. Okay. What other notes do I have? Faulty valves or clogged aerators. You know, even a partially stopped valve can affect your pressure. Now, if you don't have, I'm referring to borehole systems here in particular, but obviously if you don't have a borehole system and you're relying on the municipality water, like Ghana water, then sometimes the problem can be coming from their side. But you can always, most of the time, boost the water as it comes into your property. Okay, so let's just go for a quick break, and we'll come back giving you design tips to maintain good pressure in your bathrooms and your showers. See you soon. Are you looking to build your dream home in Ghana? Or are you building already? Would you benefit from regular site visits to monitor your building and receive regular progress reports? Well, if that's the case, and that's you, look no further. AsherGad Consultancy at your service. We offer the following services: electrical design, construction monitoring inspections, site progress reports, consultation for all items MEP, witnessing of testing and commissioning, periodic snagging, vetting of specialist subcontractors. We also report site activities to you to hopefully help you spend your money efficiently, and much, much more. Get in contact for your building needs. Details on the screen. AsherGad Consultancy, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Hey guys, here's how to get it right from the design stage. Apologies I hope the wind is not distracting this video too much. Unfortunately, I just came back from Nigeria and I left my speakers, transmitter and receiver there. So, but I'll try and raise my voice as much as possible, and hopefully you guys can bear with on this occasion. So here's how to fix it from the design stage. As I've mentioned already, use proper pipe sizing. Very good. And the designer should know the right pipe sizing to apply for your home. Avoid sharp bends, as I've mentioned already. Use sweeping curves or flexible pipes when possible. Okay. Minimum use of elbows. Number 3, balance the system. Okay, balance the system. Install pressure balancing valves where possible. Okay, and that helps to maintain the flow when you've got, let's say, 2 or 3 people using the shower at the same time. That is a common issue. I mean, you guys know this already, okay? Especially for the gravity-fed systems, you got to use pumps or boosters. Pumps on the ground, but pumps on the roof as well. Okay, and that I always advise you to have a tank on your roof or separate vertical structure, ideally on your building roof. Why pay extra money for a separate vertical structure with the pump that gives you adequate pressure when you're having your shower? Okay, I've talked about pressure regulating valves already. What else can I say? When you have a mixer tap is the one that has both hot and cold water coming in. If you balance it at the middle, sometimes you get the best optimal pressure in between. What else can I say? Some real life examples and quick fixes. Well, let me say, last month I said I went onto a site and I realized that the builder had installed the wrong size of pipe, which is quite fundamental. And all we had to do was to change the pipe sizes, which, easier said than done, depending on the stage of the build. This particular building was had they just finished the chiseling with the pipes in there, so it's very easy to change the pipe sizes. But if your house is finished or you've done plastering, yes, you can still change the pipe sizes where necessary, but there will be some abortive work in there. Just moving around, guys, to get to where there's least wind noise. So as I said, in that particular house, we changed the pipe sizes, and we also raised the tank an extra 2 meters. Also, we raised the tank an extra 2 meters to give a bit more adequate pressure, and that seemed to resolve the issue for this particular client. Here's another tip, guys. For those of you who have borehole systems, when you're using a borehole, you've got to clean out your fixtures and fittings every now and again. The taps, the showers, because they can get clogged up with particles, right? And that can also affect the pressure because the water can't get through if sufficiently or easily enough. So you need to clean out your taps, internal taps, clean out your tanks, let's say every 3 or 4 months, if you like. And also depending on the control stop valve you have in your tank, that also needs to be cleaned out. For example, there are times where our water stopped flowing completely, and that's because the valve in the tank that automatically stops the water when the tank is full was clogged with dirt. So therefore the water couldn't get into the tank in the first place. So the water stopped flowing in the house, and I had to run around, and it took a while to find out what was the cause of the issue. When you're using a borehole system, dirt clogging up the taps every few months is a common issue, which can cause low pressure and even the water to stop completely in certain instances. So guys, as a quick recap, of how to avoid these low pressure issues in your home, in your showers and in your taps, which is very frustrating when you want to have a lovely therapeutic high pressure shower, or very frustrating when you're using the washing machines and it keeps on giving you an error, or a dishwasher, or whatever you're doing. It's frustrating. Number one, start with a good designer. You need a good MEP designer. Design for plumbing systems, it is designed for electrical systems. Many people who are not in the industry do not realize, in the same way that the architect designs the house and the builder or the contractor builds the house for you, right? The MEP systems are designed by consultants like myself. We design it, and then the electrician installs the design electrically. The plumber installs the design from a plumbing point of view. Okay, design is very important, especially here in Ghana. I can't stress it enough, because the artisans are not necessarily that very educated in the science of it. They've worked along an apprentice and they've learned a few things over the years to become experienced to a degree, like a jigsaw puzzle. They can put it together, but when they're met with certain challenges, it tends to fall apart, or you don't get the optimal performance that you would like. Okay, very important, employ a designer. Number two, start with the correct pipe sizing. Very, very important. Number three, reduce bends and long runs wherever possible. So if a plumber is bringing the pipes from the roof, try to come halfway try to drop down halfway and then split to the left and split to the right, 50-50, so that you can get an equal pressure on both halves of the building, rather than one half having a good pressure and the other showers being a dribble. Plan for simultaneous use. Plan for simultaneous use. You got a 4-bedroom house or a 7-bedroom house. There is the more bedrooms you have, the more likelihood that 2 people can be having a shower at the same time. So in the design, plan for that, and that can be taken into account in the design, taken into account in the pressure, the PRV, pressure reducing valves, and other valves that can be placed on the system. Put the tank at the proper height. The higher the tank, the better. On your building roof will be fantastic. Save you from putting a separate vertical structure in there. All right. Consider the pumps. Install the right pumps, good quality pumps like Leo pumps. Leo pumps are good quality. Make your system automated, as I've covered in other videos. Test everything before tiling and plastering. Now, if you are a long-term subscriber of AsherGad, you know that we had issues with leaks. And that's something that you don't want. It's very hard to find a water leak after you've painted, especially after you've tiled, because when you do find it, you know what that means. It means breaking tiles, breaking plastering, destroying painting to try and find the leak. If you don't know where it is, that means destroying quite a bit before you find the problems. All right. So I hope this video was useful to you, because it's a common problem that I get going into various homes. Follow the tips, and hopefully, if you're building in Ghana, you should be able to avoid such issues. Hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, like, share, subscribe, and follow for more.